Day by day, our magistrates' courts hear thousands of cases. In the name of the Queen, we meet together to seek justice.
We have taken into consideration the circumstances set out in your social inquiry report, Mr. Flack. There is some mitigation in this report, inasmuch as it deals with your family background. On the other hand, this is your 5th conviction for theft during the course of the past 6 years. And we have no real alternative other than to commit you in custody for sentence in the Crown Court.
Just wait, please. Remand in custody, Crown Court.
Geoffrey! Aubrey. Haven't seen you for what, a couple of years?
Must be. How are you?
I thought Jeremy Luton...
Yes, he's got the stomach bug.
There's a lot of about. Oh, how are you? Prospering?
Perspiring at the moment. Only got the brief a couple of hours ago. Been reading from the car.
It can be a bit awkward when you're driving, eh? Your wife does. Bless her. You mustn't forget to claim her expenses.
No. Don't think this will take up too much of our valuable time.
No, quite. Don't see much chance on our side. Maybe 1 or 2 small areas of prior agreement between learned advocates.
And number 12, sir, private prosecution, Mr. Edward Lionel Drake and Mr. Miranda Kibble.
Thank you.
Mrs. Miranda Kibble, please. Mrs. Kibble. Please. Mr. Lionel Drake, Mr. Edward Lionel Drake.
Stand here, please.
Is your client asking for summary trial?
Yes, indeed, Your Worship.
You, Edward Lionel Drake.
I am.
You are summoned in respect of 2 offences, in one of which you have the right to be tried before a jury at the higher court. But if you consent, you may be tried here by the magistrates. However, if you're tried here and found guilty, and the magistrates, after hearing all about you, decide that their sentencing powers are insufficient, then they can commit you to the higher court for you to be sentenced there. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Very well. Where do you wish to be tried?
I wish to be tried here.
You were summoned that on the 6th day of December, 1972... Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
You were further summoned that on the same day and at the same place you assaulted Mrs. Miranda Kibble. Do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
You, Mrs. Miranda Kibble?
Yes.
There's a cross summons against you that on the same date and occasion you assaulted Mr. Edward Lionel Drake.
What a rubbish.
Do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
You'll sit down behind your counsel. I appear for Mrs. Kibble, Your Worships.
Yes, Mr. Barnes.
My learned friend, Mr. Peake, appears for Mr. Drake. Your Worships, I seek your indulgence. I appear at short notice owing to the illness of a colleague.
Are you in a position to proceed?
I'm quite happy to proceed, Your Worships, but as all these matters relate to the same incident, my friend and I consider it would be appropriate for them to be dealt with together.
Very well.
Worships, the background of this case is rather complex.
In that case, I trust that you and Mr. Peake will keep the complexities within bounds.
I'm obliged. Put simply, Mrs. Kibble's case is that the defendant, Edward Drake, willfully set fire to a caravan and a suite of chairs, the property of her husband, which was situated on land which was properly rented by Mrs. Kibble from the defendant. And when she tried to prevent Mr. Drake from setting light to the property, he assaulted her. Mrs. Kibble's own evidence will entirely refute the charge of assault laid against her. And we shall further seek to show that Mr. Drake's willful act of destruction was brought about by a deliberate campaign of intimidation and harassment to evict Mrs. Kibble and her husband from the said land. Now, my friend agrees with me this sketch map will be of assistance. It shows the situation of the property. It's on a field of 2 acres, adjoining Mr. Drake's garage and Mr. Kibble's bungalow, also a neighbouring property of a Mr. Bishop.
Your Worships, I think I ought to declare a little local knowledge at this point. Mr. Drake has recently commenced eviction proceedings against Mrs. Kibble, and this case is set down for hearing in the county court in the near future.
If I may draw my friend's attention to the case before us, I would now like to call Constable O'Hagan as my first witness.
Miss Constable O'Hagan. Miss O'Hagan.
Swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give in this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Your Worships, I take the somewhat unusual course of calling the officer as my first witness, as I understand he's required for duties elsewhere.
Please continue.
You are Constable O'Hagan, attached to the Gardener's Lane section.
Yes, sir.
Will you tell us what occurred during the early evening of the 6th of December last?
Yes, sir. At approximately 5:20 in the evening, I was on patrol when I received a call to investigate a complaint by a Mrs. Kibble at Turner's End. I interviewed Mrs. Kibble, and as a result of what she told me, I went to see a Mr. Drake, the proprietor of the Unicorn Garage, which is next door to the property of Mr. and Mrs. Kibble.
Do you see Mrs. Kibble and Mr. Drake in court?
Sitting there, sir.
Carry on, please.
I identified myself to Mr. Drake, and I said to him, "Your neighbour, Mrs. Kibble, has told me that you have set light to some chairs and a caravan." I then cautioned him and asked him what he knew about it. He replied, "If you believe what that old bag tells you, you'll believe anything." He replied, "All right, I did. What about it? They were bloody lucky it wasn't their bungalow. Anyway, it's my land, and if people dump rubbish on it, I'm entitled to burn it." I then said, "Mrs. Kibble has alleged that when she remonstrated with you about the burning of the property, that you assaulted her and threw her to the ground." He replied, "That's a big laugh. She came at me like a tiger." I then told Mr. Drake that further inquiries would be made.
Can you tell us why, because it does seem rather surprising, why the police decided not to bring a prosecution against Mr. Drake?
No idea, sir. It wasn't my decision.
When you interviewed Mrs. Kibble, did you see the chairs?
Yes, sir. They were still smouldering.
Were they badly damaged?
I would say they were severely damaged, sir.
What sort of chairs were they?
Just the ordinary settee and 2 easy chairs, sir.
And what was the damage to the caravan?
Just one of the sides was badly scorched, sir.
Thank you.
May I be released now, Your Worships?
Your Worships, I would now like to call Mrs. Kibble.
What is your religion?
Chapel.
Will you please take the testament in your right hand and repeat the
Perhaps we might have a little lunch together around the corner. Mrs. Bradley still makes a splendid shepherd's pie.
Yes, much as I adore shepherd's pie, I'm afraid I have to be upstanding here ready at 2 o'clock. You tell the court your full name, please.
Miranda Kibble.
And you live at 16 Drayton Park Road.
Yes.
Can you tell us, Mrs. Kibble, how you and your husband came to be the tenants of Mr. Drake's field?
We pay our rent, we do as we please.
Your Worship, I really must protest about the use of the word tenant. My friend is already suggesting as a fact something which is one of the main points at issue.
The issues in this case, Mr. Peake, are whether your client set fire to the property and whether he and Mrs. Kibble assaulted each other. The question of tenancy is for another court to decide.
For how long do you say you've rented Mr. Drake's land?
A year and 2 months, all but 3 days.
Did you always pay the rent regularly?
My husband paid every month, regular as clockwork, except the last 3 months when Drake said he wouldn't take it because he wanted us out.
Were these sums entered in a rent book?
Yes, they were.
Is this the rent book, and do you produce it as an exhibit in this case?
Yes.
It shows monthly payments of £1, your worship, signed for by Mr. Drake, over a period of about a year. Now, Mrs. Kibble, will you tell us in your own words what happened on the 6th of December?
I saw Drake deliberately throw petrol on my husband's caravan and the chairs and put a match to them. He thought I couldn't see because it was dark, but he was wrong, because I just happened to take something out to the dustbin. I saw him sneak round the back of the...
You saw him pour petrol on the property and then set light to it. What was your reaction?
I was emptying the tea grouts in the dustbin.
What did you do next?
I ran across the field and tried to stop him. I says, "Hey, what the devil do you think you're doing?" He says, "Burning your rubbish, what's it look like?" I tried to stamp out the flames with my bare hands, and the next thing I knew, Drake had come up behind me, put his arm round my neck and flung me to the ground. Yes, you might well snigger.
Mr. Barnes-Ellis, please restrain your client.
Yes, Mrs. Kibble, will you please confine yourself to answering my questions? Now, did you suffer any injuries?
I got a great lump on the back of my head and bruises all down this arm. I couldn't walk for 3 days hardly.
And you then called the police. Now, what actually do you use this land for?
We had geese on it. I do all the work looking after the geese, so my husband said I could have the field.
How many geese do you have at the moment?
37. It should be 43. Only Drake let 5 of them out through the fence and they got lost. And another one, him and his friend Bishop, shot with a rifle. I heard the gun go off. I was just putting some fish in the frying.
Just one thing at a moment, if you please.
And they put the poison down.
Look, is all this relevant, Mr. Barnes?
Well, this testimony goes to the background of the alleged assaults, Your Worship.
No doubt it does, Mr. Barnes-Ellis. But let us please keep it within bounds.
Your Worship. Now, Mrs. Kibble, you say some of the geese were let out. How did that happen?
We put wire all round the fence to keep them in. Then Drake came up and started shouting and said we'd no right to do it. Then when I was feeding them birds the next day, I saw this great hole cut in the wire that Drake and his friend Bishop had done when my back was turned.
You didn't see them do it?
No, it was too crafty.
Did you complain about this to Mr. Drake?
I told him about it, but he just laughed, because he's a liar and a bully like his friend Bishop.
You say he shot one of your geese. Well, now, how did that happen?
I heard the gun go off, so I went out. And there they were, Drake and Bishop with a gun, bold as brass.
Who had the gun?
Drake had it, leaning on his arm.
And he just shot a goose.
Shot one of my prize ganders through the wing. God knows how many he'd have killed if I hadn't seen him at it.
Now, Mr. Bishop was one of your neighbours. Is he a good neighbour?
Good neighbour. I'll tell you one thing, I wouldn't like to hold his hand in a thunderstorm. He's got a filthy tongue and a filthy temper. Do you know what he did once? He accused me of emptying rubbish in his garden. And before I could say anything, he picked up a whole heap of cabbage leaves and threw them in my face.
I don't know if it has anything to do with the geese, Mr. Barnes-Ellis, but we seem to be wandering about all over the place.
I accept your worship's direction. I was merely seeking to lay before your worships the background of hostility and intimidation in this case. Mrs. Kibble, just one last question. Now, while you've had charge of the land, have you always kept it in a clean and tidy condition?
I've kept it spick and span.
Thank you. Stay where you are, please.
Mrs. Kibble, you say you've been paying Mr. Drake £1 a month for the hire of the land. Now, wouldn't you agree that Mr. Drake was being extremely generous, letting you have it at such a low rent?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. Drake would never give anything away.
You wouldn't agree. Now, on the occasion when you say you were thrown to the ground, why should he do that, do you think?
He wanted to stop me putting out the fire.
Ah. Did you succeed in putting out the fire?
I stopped the caravan from burning. Put it out with my hands. They was covered in blisters.
Oh, good for you. So presumably you managed to beat out the flames before you were, as you say, thrown to the ground.
Drake still had the petrol can in his hand. You can't deny it.
Did the alleged assault take place before or after you tried to beat out the fire in the caravan with your hands?
I put some of it out first. Then Drake come up and threw me to the ground, and then I got up and put out the rest.
Although your arm was badly bruised?
I used the other arm.
Oh, you did. You say you could hardly walk for 3 days. Are you arthritic? Do you suffer from rheumatism?
Yes, I do, in the cold weather.
And this, after all, was in December.
What's that got to do with it?
You also said that Mr. Drake and Mr. Bishop put some poison down. Now, what sort of poison was it?
I don't know. It was brown stuff.
And why do you say they put poison down?
Kill my birds, of course.
You don't think it could possibly be rat poison, which is not harmful to geese?
Are you trying to say we got rats?
Was it, in fact, rat poison?
I don't know what it was. You don't put rat poison down unless you got rats.
Mrs. Kibble, isn't it really the truth that on the evening of December the 6th, when you found Mr. Drake burning those chairs, you rushed up to him and you attacked him? He did not even try to defend himself? And that you punched and kicked him so fiercely that you fell to the ground in doing so?
You've been listening to Drake's lies.
Any questions, sir? You may stand down, Mrs. Kibble.
My next witness is Ernest Kibble.
Ernest Kibble. Ernest Kibble, please. Ernest Kibble.
What is your profession, Mr. Kibble?
I was a railway clerk, sir, until I retired 3 years ago.
When you approached Mr. Drake to rent his land on your wife's behalf, what was his reaction?
He was only too pleased. He said he'd no particular use for it as he couldn't get building permission.
Was the rent paid regularly or not?
It was always paid on the dot.
And he accepted these payments?
Yes, sir, up until about 3 months ago.
What happened then?
He refused to accept payments, so I sent it through the post and he sent it back.
But the money has been offered to Mr. Drake and is still available for him to collect if he so chooses.
Yes, sir.
Now, what was the condition of the land when your wife first rented it?
Terrible. Just like a wilderness. Full of thistles and brambles.
Did you take it in hand?
Well, I cleared most of it until we put the geese down. Geese will clean any land.
Did Mr. Drake stipulate any conditions when he granted the lease?
No, he said as long as we kept it clean and tidy, that's all he was worried about.
Now, did you use the land for any other purpose other than for geese?
Well, I occasionally go to sales and pick up a few bargains. I have left some of the items on the land overnight because I was short of space.
Just overnight?
Never more than 3 days, apart from the caravan, which was there for a fortnight up until the time of the burning incident.
Ah, yes. Tell us about the caravan. Why did you leave it on the property?
Well, certainly. I picked up the caravan at a bargain price and I already had a customer for it. Soon after I got it, I was informed about an unfortunate family in the neighbourhood who were about to be turned out on the streets. So I thought I would furnish the caravan and offer it as temporary accommodation until this family could make other arrangements.
I see. And the chairs?
I was going to install them in the caravan as soon as it was ready, sir.
Now, you say that Mr. Drake was perfectly happy to allow your wife to have the tenancy of the land. When did his attitude change?
About 3 months ago, sir. He came to see me with Bishop and said that he wanted the land for himself and we would have to get off within a fortnight. I pointed out that my wife was a legal tenant according to the 1925 Act.
What was his reaction?
He started shouting and raving just like a lunatic. He stated that if we didn't get off his land, he'd make me wish I'd never been whelped.
Why did he bring Mr. Bishop with him?
He wished to intimidate me, sir.
Worships, I rather feel my friend is feeding this witness. How can Mr. Kibble possibly have known Mr. Drake's motive in this instance?
Quite so.
I have given the correct answer to that question, Your Worship. They were trying to intimidate me.
Be that as it may, were you in fact intimidated by Mr. Drake or Mr. Bishop?
Yes, sir.
Now, we've heard your wife give us a few examples of this intimidation, shooting at the geese, cutting a hole in the fence. Are there any other instances you could quote?
On one occasion, Drake, or Bishop, or both, stole some goose eggs from the field and smashed them all over the front seat of my van.
What made you suspect Mr. Drake or Mr. Bishop was responsible?
I saw Drake the next day with Bishop, and I put it to them that they had committed this offence. Drake gave one of his sneering laughs and Bishop...
read from notes, Mr. Kibble.
Carry on from memory, please.
As you wish. Drake gave one of his sneering laughs and Bishop said, "You ought to lock it up. There are a lot of villains about these days." I warned Drake as to his future conduct, and he replied, "Don't come whining to me, cocker. If you want to mix it with me, I'll have you for breakfast and that old tart of yours for afters."
Have you ever, at any time, tried to provoke Mr. Drake in any way, except, of course, trying to protect your wife's right as the legal tenant?
No, sir. Never.
Thank you. Stay where you are.
You were not, of course, present at the incident on the 6th of December?
I was not.
So all that you know of it was told to you by your wife, is that so?
That is correct, yes.
Oh, well, I dare say you can assist the court in various other matters. What sort of condition were the chairs in?
They were in very good condition, almost as new.
Where did you get them?
Got them at an auction sale.
You're claiming the extent of the damage was £10. How much of the claim refers to the cost of the chairs?
About £7.50.
Must have an extraordinary eye for a bargain. You say you were going to install the chairs in the caravan. Are you sure they would have gone in the doorway? I mean, surely they would have been much too large.
I measured them up first.
Don't you think it was an unfriendly act towards Mr. Drake, turning his field into a caravan site?
As I have already stated, and I assumed you were listening, I was preparing the caravan as a temporary refuge for a homeless family.
Very public-spirited. Did you inform Mr. Drake of these plans?
No, I didn't consider it necessary.
You didn't say to him during the altercation about the goose eggs, if you don't behave yourself, you'll wake up and find a few diddy-coys on your doorstep?
I did not.
Did you, in fact, originally dump the chairs and the caravan on the field as a deliberate affront to Mr. Drake?
I did not.
Did you suggest to him that you would turn the field into a caravan site for odd vagrants in order to provoke him further?
I did not.
Have you, over the last few months, persistently provoked and goaded Mr. Drake by turning his field into a squalid dumping ground?
I have not.
Mr. Peake, if you could please move on.
Your Worship, there's just one other small matter. Is it true that you have brought 5 private prosecutions in the last 4 years?
What's that got to do with it?
Is it also true that you lost each of those cases?
Your Worships, my friend is attacking the character of this witness on a matter which is completely irrelevant to these proceedings.
Your Worships, I'm trying to show the character of this witness as being responsible for persistent and frequent prosecutions in the past.
You may continue, Mr. Peake, but please be brief.
Will you answer the question? Is it not true that you were unsuccessful in each of these cases?
The question is irrelevant and impertinent. It is the privilege of every citizen in this country to bring private prosecutions.
Look, you must answer the question.
I refuse to answer the question.
Well, if you refuse to answer, the court must draw its own conclusions.
Is it true that the last time you applied for a private summons, your application was rejected because of your frivolous prosecutions in the past?
I refuse to answer.
I put it to you that having been refused last time, you have decided you can continue to bring private prosecutions at public expense through your wife.
That's a lie.
Thank you, Your Worship.
You may stand down.
Worships, that concludes the case for the prosecution.
For the chairman's signature, sir.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I met an old friend of yours the other day, Peter Cuthbertson.
Oh, Peter. What's he doing?
He's doing very well, actually. He's become a recorder somewhere up in Lancashire.
Really?
Thank you.
Your Worships, perhaps I could dispense with the usual opening at this point, since I'm sure Your Worships will already have seen the state of relationships between the parties.
Very well.
I will call my first witness, Charles Reginald Bishop.
Charles Reginald Bishop. Mr. Charles Reginald Bishop, please. Bishop. Charles Reginald Bishop.
What is your religion?
CV.
Will you please take the testament in your right hand and repeat the words on the card?
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give in this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you.
You are Charles Reginald Bishop of 18 Drayton Park Road, Turner's End.
That's right.
Your occupation?
Market stall owner.
And you live in your present house, which adjoins the property of Mr. Drake and Mr. Kibble, for how long?
About 7 years.
When did the Kibbles become your neighbours?
About 18 months ago, 2 years.
And with regard to the field owned by Mr. Drake, how would you describe its condition since the Kibbles have used it?
Well, it was all right for the first couple of months. After that, they turned it into a rubbish dump.
What sort of rubbish was dumped there?
Well, it was just broken down old caravan, falling to pieces. Some old chairs with the springs hanging out. A couple of rusty old milk churns I saw once. Old bedsteads, bicycle wheels. Bath without any taps on it. About 30 old lavatory pedestals I saw once. Half of them broken, just chucked in the nettles.
Pedestals?
Well, you know, the China bowl arrangement without the seat bit.
Oh, yes, I see. Now, to come back to the caravan and the chairs, how long were they left there before December the 6th?
Well, I should reckon the caravan had been there about 6 weeks and the chairs about a month.
Would you say the caravan was habitable?
Habitable? I wouldn't keep a dog in it. All the windows was broken, the tyres are flat, the roof was all rotten.
Did it look as if it had been abandoned?
Yeah.
And the chairs also?
Yeah.
And why do you say Mr. Kibble dumped those kind of items in Mr. Drake's field?
Well, partly he's just naturally filthy and untidy and he wanted to annoy Mr. Drake.
Now, since the Kibbles have moved in next door to you, how would you describe your relations?
Well, they ain't no relations of mine.
Would you say they were good neighbours?
Oh, relations? Nah, they've always been bloody awful neighbours. Never had nothing but trouble with them.
Oh? What sort of trouble?
Well, first off, see, they haven't been there a fortnight. Well, I got this hedge, which is between my garden and their garden. Anyway, Kibble says to me one day, could I cut a bit off the top because it was interfering with his light or something?
And did you comply with this request?
No.
Why not?
Well, I didn't like the way he said it.
Do you mean he wasn't very polite?
Yeah, he said, if you don't get that edge of yours cut, I shall have to do something about it.
And did he do something about it?
Well, about a fortnight afterwards, I noticed all the leaves were turning brown. Then they all dropped off. After that, all the bushes died.
Oh, very unpleasant. Well, what do you think happened?
Well, it's a bit obvious, isn't it? Somebody must have poisoned them.
Good heavens. Well, who do you think could have done it?
Well, Kibble. Who else had a reason?
But you didn't see him do it.
Well, if you're going to poison someone's edge, you usually do it when he ain't there.
Were there any other provocations of a similar nature?
Yep. Your Worships, this sounds much more like speculation than provocation.
Mr. Peake, I hope that sooner or later we may get down to the real issue in this case.
Well, with respect, Your Worships, this witness has been cast by both Mr. and Mrs. Kibble in the rather villainous role of Mr. Drake's accomplice in intimidation. I feel that evidence should be challenged. I believe there was an occasion when you had a dispute with Mrs. Kibble. Will you tell us about that?
Well, I come home from work one evening and found this big pile of rubbish chucked over into my garden. There's old spud peelings, cabbage leaves, geese muck, corn cobs, rotten eggs.
Well, did you mention this to Mrs. Kibble?
That's right.
What did she say?
She just stood there shouting and screaming insults, said I put it there myself.
That you believe Mr. or Mrs. Kibble had dumped it there?
Sure of it.
Now, why do you say they dumped rubbish in your garden?
Well, you see, the day before, I'd been to see Kibble and complain about the rats she was encouraging. And I told him I was going to complain to the sanitary people.
Ah, so there were rats on the field.
Oh, it's overrun with them. Huge great things, some of them. We tried to put poison down, but it didn't affect them at all.
And did the rats spread to your property?
Spread at my place? Oh, it's overrun with them. Well, they used to knock the lids off the dustbins every night. My young daughter was having a bath the other day, and one of them pops his head over the bathroom window.
All right, I can tell you something about rats. He knows where those rats come from.
Mrs. Kibble, you must not interrupt the witness.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to all those lies.
Do you know where the rats come from, Mr. Bishop?
Well, from the field where the geese are. Stands to reason, doesn't it? Well, he just chucked all his food down. Old potato peelings, green stuff, bits of bread. What the geese don't eat gets left there to rot. Well, isn't all these geese eggs laying about, just left there? Well, it's a perfect paradise for rats, isn't it?
Mr. Bishop, thank you. Please stay where you are.
Are you a close friend of Mr. Drake's?
No, we're just acquainted, that's all.
Do you go out drinking together?
Well, I sometimes have a jar with him if I see him in a boozer, yeah.
This happens quite frequently, does it?
What do you mean, frequently?
Well, do you drink with Mr. Drake, say, twice a week?
I don't know, about once a fortnight. Anyway, what's that got to do with it?
Let me repeat my earlier question. Are you and Mr. Drake close friends?
No, I told you we're just acquainted. Has he got cloth ears or something?
Mr. Bishop.
No, Mr. Bishop. There's nothing wrong with my hearing, I can assure you. Did you at any time agree to assist your friend, Mr. Drake, in a deliberate campaign of harassment and intimidation for the purpose of evicting Mr. and Mrs. Kibble from the land they'd rented from Mr. Drake?
Oh, look, you're just talking nonsense.
Please answer the question.
No, I didn't.
Why did you throw cabbage leaves at Mrs. Kibble?
I did not throw cabbage leaves at Mrs. Kibble. I just grabbed a handful and chucked them back in her garden. She dumped them in mine, so I thought I'd return a compliment.
I'm glad you used the word compliment. Yes. Now, do you have any proof that Mrs. Kibble put them there?
Well, somebody put them there. Must have been either one of them.
Do you have any proof?
But look, it couldn't have been nobody else, could it?
Do you have any proof that Mr. or Mrs. Kibble dumped rubbish in your garden?
No, I don't.
All right. Assuming that there was rubbish dumped in your garden, it might have been literally anybody, Mr. or Mrs. Kibble or anybody. Do you agree? All right, let's assume you agree. Now then, when you threw the cabbage leaves, did some of them hit Mrs. Kibble?
No. Well, perhaps a couple might have brushed her arm, yeah.
Did you intend to injure her?
You can't do much harm to anyone with cabbage leaves.
Will you kindly answer the question?
No, of course I didn't.
Why did you throw them at all, then?
Well, she was giving me some aggro, wasn't she?
In what way was she giving you aggro?
Well, she said something about I was a liar and a lout and a criminal and ought to be stuck inside and left there to rot.
Why do you think she called you a criminal?
Your worships, I think my friend is sailing very close to a rather foul wind.
Will you please move on, Mr. Barnes-Ellis?
Look, I've had a few motoring offences, that's all.
What did you say to Mrs. Kibble after, as you say, she abused you?
I just told her to go away.
Did you, in fact, say, "Piss off indoors, you silly old bitch"?
Yeah, I might have said something like that, yeah.
Did you or not?
All right, yeah.
You call yourself a civilized person.
Depends what you mean by civilised, doesn't it? I ain't all that educated, no.
One who treats other people with courtesy and consideration, particularly women.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
And do you call it civilized behavior when a man of your age makes a totally unsupported charge against a helpless old lady, and when she tries to defend herself, first of all abuses her, and then assaults her by throwing cabbage leaves in her face?
Barnes-Ellis, this
Look,
witness is not
look,
on trial.
that's just a pack of old rubbish. God. Look, did I start it? All I said was...
Thank you, Mr. Bishop.
Thank you. Now then, tell us about the caravan that was parked on your field, Mr. Drake. Why did Mr. Kibble put it there? Did you ask him?
Yes, sir. I asked him when he first stuck it there. He said he was going to repair it when he had the time.
And did he make any effort to do so?
He never touched it.
Or did you make any further representations?
I did, sir. After about a month, I asked him to remove it because it was right outside my bedroom window and it was an eyesore.
And how did he respond?
He said he was going to put a family of pea pickers in it.
What about the chairs?
Well, They arrived a few days after. He just drove up in his van and dumped them off by the caravan. By the looks of them, I reckon he must have picked them up off the council rubbish tip.
And how long were they left there?
About a fortnight, give or take a day. They was just left out in the rain and they started to smell.
Really? Was it an unpleasant smell?
Oh, yeah, it was very unpleasant. Can't really describe it. It was the same sort of thing as, well, you know, old mattresses. And what with that and the bad eggs and all the other stuff.
Yes, I can well imagine. So, what action did you decide to take?
I decided to burn the chairs for reasons of hygiene.
I see. Now, this was on December the 6th.
Yes, sir.
Will you describe what happened on that occasion?
Well, I'd been on a breakdown job. I got back about 5 or just after. When I got home, I found my wife in tears in the bedroom because she couldn't stand the sight of that rubbish no more. So I got hold of a can of petrol and poured it over the chairs and set fire to them.
Which you felt you were fully entitled to do as the owner of the land.
Yes, definitely.
And what happened then?
Well, Mrs. Kibble came running across the field in a highly hysterical condition, swearing and shouting and waving her arms about. She come straight up to me, knocked the petrol can out of my hand, and then she started to punch me chest and try to kick me.
And did you try to retaliate in any way?
No, sir, not at all. I never raised a finger. Well, after the... shall I carry on?
Yes, please do.
Well, then I stepped back and she fell over. She sat on the ground swearing and carrying on. She said I'd broken her arm. And then she got up and said she was going to fetch the police and the fire brigade.
Well, she obviously fetched the police. Did the fire brigade arrive?
Yes, sir. The fire engine turned up and 2 of them went over and looked at the chairs. And they just laughed and walked away again.
Did you also intend to set fire to the caravan?
No, sir. You see, what happened here was, when I was pouring the petrol on the chairs, a bit of it must have splashed up against the caravan. So that when I set fire to the chairs, 1 or 2 of the flames must have just sort of flickered up against the caravan.
Without causing any serious damage?
No, sir. It just blistered the paint. It was all flaking off anyway.
And did you see Mrs. Kibble try to stop the caravan from burning?
No, she never touched it. Went out of its own accord.
Died of inertia, as it were.
Did you try to put out the fire in the caravan?
No, sir.
You say you accidentally spilt petrol over the caravan, and yet when it was burning, you did nothing to stop it.
Well, there was no need, sir. I could see it wasn't going to take hold.
Mr. Drake, we've heard from Mr. Bishop that there was a serious problem concerning rats on the field. Can you help us on that subject?
Rats? The field's alive with them, galloping about all over the place.
And did you try to stop this infestation?
Oh, I put some poison down, but it didn't make no difference. They just lapped it up.
Did you try anything else?
Yeah. I went out and shot a few with a 410 shotgun.
Were you successful?
I shot 7 in half an hour.
And did you inform Mr. Kibble?
I told Mrs. Kibble. I went over to her place and showed her one I just killed.
And what did she say to that?
She reckoned I'd got it from somewhere else. She said it hadn't been shot at all, it had died of old age.
Did you happen to hit one of the geese while you were shooting at those rats?
No, sir, not at all. I mean, I'd have to be a bit blind if I couldn't tell the difference between rats and geese.
Now, tell us about the occasion when Mr. Kibble first approached you about the use of the land.
Do we really need to go into this, Mr. Peake?
Your Worship's permission, I think it's rather essential. Will you carry on, please?
Well, about a year ago, Kibble comes round to my garage and says, could he let him run on my field? So I said, all right, as long as he kept it clean and tidy. Well, about months after this, round he comes again. Says he's very grateful for the use of the field, but he don't want to sponge on anyone, so would I take a small sum in respect of rent? So I said, well, if it makes you happy, we'll make it £1 a month.
And you accepted this arrangement simply to ease Mr. Kibble's conscience? You had no intention of making a contract of any kind?
None at all, sir.
And did he pay you the £1 each month?
Yes, sir, that's correct. Well, the next thing that happens is round he comes with a rent book and says, would I sign for the payments because he's selling the goose eggs and he wants to claim the rent on the income tax expenses.
I don't think I've ever tasted a goose egg. So you sign the rent book each month on receipt of the pound just to humour Mr. Kibble?
Yes, sir.
And it didn't occur to you that the Kibbles were trying to establish a claim to be considered as the rightful tenants?
Well, not at that time. Kibble was very smarmy to begin with. He was always giving us stuff, odd bits of furniture, sacks of sawdust. He gave us a goose once, but it was so tough we couldn't eat it.
What does one do with a sack of sawdust?
You put it on the garage floor, it soaks up the oil.
Do please move on, Mr. Peake.
Your worships. When did you first have cause to complain about the state of the land?
After about 5 months, I noticed the geese had gone from a dozen to about 60. Then after that, he started dumping junk all over the field, and it got more and more filthy and disgusting. There was one time I walked round there...
Yes. Now, did the Kibbles receive your complaints with any sympathy?
Sympathy? All I ever got off either of them was insults and provocation. I remember one occasion I went round there...
One last question, Mr. Drake. Why does Mrs. Kibble claim to be the tenant of the field rather than Mr. Kibble?
I've no idea, sir. Kibble arranged it. He paid the rent, and it's his name on the rent book.
Thank you, Mr. Drake. Please stay where you are.
You say that when you set fire to the chairs, Mrs. Kibble ran towards you in a highly emotional state.
Yes, sir.
If you saw someone setting fire to your property, would you feel emotional about it?
Not if it was just some old rubbish, no.
All right. We'll accept you're not the emotional type. Now, according to Mrs. Kibble, you threw her to the ground and she lay there crying out that her arm was broken. Did you go to her assistance?
I never pushed her. She fell over.
Did you go to her assistance?
No, she was putting it on.
How do you know she was putting it on?
Well, I mean, it was...
She might have been seriously injured for all you knew. Is that so?
Well, if you put it that way...
Yes or no?
Well, yeah.
Now, with regard to the chairs, I understand Mr. Kibble told you he was going to install them in the caravan. Is that so?
Yes, sir.
So you had no reason to think that they were dumped or abandoned?
No, I don't agree with that at all. He just dumped them there to annoy me.
Did you, on one occasion, smash eggs in Mr. Kibble's van?
Oh, no, sir. That was just a bit of a joke. You see, these geese was laying eggs all over the place. They wasn't being picked up. They was going rotten. Well, one day I picked one up, and then I happened to notice Kibble's van standing there. So I wrote a message on the egg and left it on the seat of his van as a sort of a friendly hint. I mean, if it got smashed, he must have sat on it.
What did you write on the egg?
Oh, I don't know. Can't remember. First thing that came into my head, happy birthday or something like that.
Are you seriously telling us that you wrote happy birthday on a goose egg and left it on the seat of Mr. Kibble's van?
Yeah, it's the honest truth.
You've complained about provocation from the Kibbles. Did you not, with the assistance of your friend, Mr. Bishop, cut a hole in the fence, shoot at the geese, smash eggs in Mr. Kibble's van, and carry out a campaign of bullying and intimidation in order to evict the Kibbles from your field?
No, sir. Definitely not.
Any questions, sir? Thank you, Mr. Drake.
Your Worships, we have heard a great deal of conflicting evidence about the alleged assault. It is my case that Mr. Drake's version, that he was assaulted by Mrs. Kibble while setting fire to the chairs, is much the more credible. With regard to the willful damage, the evidence would suggest that the property concerned was either abandoned or had been dumped there as a deliberate provocation. I cannot comment on the possible outcome of the eviction proceedings, But it is at least likely that Mr. Kibble's claim to the tenancy is at least extremely tenuous. There have been allegations of provocation on both sides, but I would suggest to you that this was engendered by the Kibbles, who established a claim to the land by stealth and proceeded to misuse it in the most offensive manner. I would also suggest that Ernest Kibble was the manipulator behind the scenes, a man who, on his evidence, seems to regard vexatious litigation as some kind of hobby. I would therefore ask your worships to dismiss the charges against my client as purely mischievous.
Mr. Barnes-Ellis, do you wish to speak on behalf of Mrs. Kibble?
In respect of the charge against Mrs. Kibble, Your Worship, I cannot agree with my friend's view of credibility. In the absence of corroborative evidence, the worships must decide this issue on the credibility of the two parties involved. Is it likely that a woman of Mrs. Kibble's age, plagued with arthritis, should attack a man such as Mr. Drake? A man in the prime of life, even under intense provocation? I would suggest it's most unlikely. It's much more credible that Mrs. Kibble went to remonstrate with Mr. Drake, failed to make him see reason, and was physically assaulted by him when she tried to frustrate him in his purpose.
Thank you.
The bench will retire.
Stand, please.
I thought your chap had lost the day until he brought up that vexatious litigation business.
Yes, well, you see, I had dealings with the fellow before.
Excuse me, sir. We've had your clerk on the phone.
Oh, yes?
He says that your case at Reading this afternoon is adjourned, owing to the indisposition of the judge.
Thank you.
Ah, good, splendid. We can lunch after all, then.
It's an exercise. Look, it's after past. Can't we get the next one in?
What is it? Driving without insurance?
Stand, please.
Up, please.
What we have listened to this morning is a catalogue of bad neighbourly relations which reflects little credit on any of the parties concerned. We find you, Edward Drake, not guilty on the charge of assault, but guilty on the charge of wilful damage. On that charge, you are fined £5. You will also pay the sum of £2 in compensation. You are also bound over to keep the peace for 1 year in the sum of £20, which means that if you cause any trouble during the next year or any disturbance of the peace, you will lose £20. We find you, Mrs. Miranda Kibble, guilty on the charge of assault, and you are bound over to keep the peace for 1 year in the sum of £20. Now, I'm sure that you'll both realise that the exercise of a little patience and tolerance will prevent this sort of situation arising in the future.
Thanks a lot anyway. I suppose it could have been a lot worse.
Yes, I suppose it could.
You go this way, please, sir.
Okay, we don't see one another often nowadays. Why don't we go down to the Red Lion and have a decent steak?
Splendid idea. I'd like to know. Well, Mrs. Kibble, I hope you weren't too disappointed with the result.
Come on. Delightful people. Where do you leave your coat? All right, then.
James Frederick Spicer. James Frederick Spicer. Spicer, please. James Bishops, the defendant for case number 16 appears to have left the building. I've got an officer making inquiries now, but in the